What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another market wash today. So, a majority of you guys probably getting your stimmy checks in. Mine came in today, and it was a pretty substantial amount of money. Even for me, that's pretty wow. So, what do? Some of you guys gonna be saving your money, some of you guys gonna be spending on you. It's gonna be spent on my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, isn't it? Like we're all like going like whatever, like yeah, hold your money, and we're just debating on what we're buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the back of our mind. And the real thing I'm gonna be talking about in this video is what you might want to consider buying, and then again, what you might want to consider holding on to if you already currently hold on to the cards. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, comment down below, comment question of the day. You already know. Congratulations on getting $1,400 richer in some of your cases. What are you gonna be buying? Let me know. Comment down below. Hopefully it's something important. Hopefully it's something substantial. And hopefully it's not Heroes Max Rarity. Because that whole check is gone. And you still gotta finish the rest of your deck. One of the cards I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players might be considering is getting Max Rarity Strikers. For ungodly reason, I don't know why. Max Rarity Strikers, even though it's really expensive, it looks really nice. Cards like Sky Striker Ishizuku at an OTS 1 Pack 9 with a $67 market price has already spiked to $89 to almost near $90 for Shizuku. Oh, by the way, you need 3 of these cards. That's not including, Kaina, Ray, Hayate. You're going to need those max ready before you go ahead and go on and grab Rose, Starlight Ray, we'll talk about in a second, and grab at least 2 of those for your collection. Strikers? Yep. Listen, don't get me wrong about Strikers. I think it's a great deck. It's a really fun deck. And I really do like the deck a lot myself. I really would love to have the opportunity one day to get this deck max rarity. Unfortunately, its price is so high, it makes no sense. One thing we noticed with the last huge check that got dropped on All Americans was the fact that, well, everyone ran right to buy the most expensive thing they can buy, and the prices of the thing shot up. And at the time, in some cases long, some cases not too long, they went down and stabilized. We saw cards like Starlight Rays become $2,000 before going back down to an average price point of roughly around $800. But yet, Yu-Gi-Oh players went in and bought this. And this is what's going to be happening in the next, well, I'll say a week. We're going to see things hit some dumb numbers. We're going to be talking about them on this channel. And it's going to be wild. Up next, guys, we have, well, Starlight Rays in general. Now, once again, do not be surprised if these cards hit well above $1,000 for some of these cards. I'm not surprised. I don't think nobody else would be surprised, but it's more than likely going to be happening as Yu-Gi-Oh players want to grab that Starlight Ray Appaloosa. With the current $755 market price, the value of Starlight Ray Appaloosa, well, is roughly around $750. Now, someone might look at this card and go, that's insane. Otherwise, all of us are going to be looking at this card going, that's the last card I need to max rate in my deck. And they will be doing that. They will be putting that kind of money in. And the thing about a Starlight Rare is when you put money in and buy Starlight Rare, you're buying a piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History that isn't easy to come across. Konami is more than likely not going to be reprinting Starlight Rares. And the last time you can actually get this card is opening it in a pack of Rising Rampage. And good luck with that, by the way, because the pull ratios were absolutely insane. So some of these Starlight Rares do make sense. Once again, Appaloosa I think makes sense. I think Masquerena I think makes sense. Zeus definitely makes a lot of sense. And then you have some Starlight Rares that I would question. Number one being Triple Tactics Talent. Even though I personally love this card and definitely want to double sleeve this, this card is a main deck card. I feel like with main deck cards, they'll get bent around and messed up really easily. But that's not going to allow a lot of players from buying these cards, like Lightning Storms, Talents, Dogmatic Ecclesia, even Product Prosperity. These cards, even though if you're looking to buy for investment-wise, it's the worst thing you can do. It's always better to buy extra deck cards, being the fact that they don't get played as much, don't get shuffled as much, and they have a better shelf life in order to, well, if you want to sell it later on. Don't get me wrong, though, that hasn't stopped me. I own a playset Talent Starlight Rare. I love the card. And, yeah, it's a great card, so I should be the one to be talking, but I just want to say, if you want to buy for investing-wise, if you want to get some bang out of that buck, buy the extra deck cards. Up next, we have Book of Moon at OTS 1 Pack 13 with an $81 price point. The card price is, well, not $81. In fact, after these guys over here, the card price is roughly around $140 for Ultimate Rare Book of Moon. Of course it is. The card sees some meta play, but realistically is really good in GOATs as a 3 of, and that's why it made it a high price point. I still tell you to keep an eye on cards like Scapegoat. That should be the main card you should be looking at right now. You know, we'll type it in real quickly, because I kind of forgot about this. Ultimate Rare Scapegoat right now at an OTS 1 Pack 8 with a $61 market price is currently roughly around $70. In case anyone forgot, this card's price point stabilized a long time ago. When I mean a long time ago, I mean a couple of months ago. Roughly around, I believe it was $36, so around that price point. The price point is more than double to $70, and it's not done yet. This card will hit well above $100 easily. Looking at Book of Moon Ultimate Rare, I wouldn't be surprised to see Skate will follow that same path. Well, being the fact that the format is called GOAT format, would more than likely surpass even Book of Moon Ultimate Rare. Then we have Predator Inverted Anaconda. I think this card is great. And I hate this card at the same time because people can play Dragoons. They cheated out with this card. But if you guys check me out on Twitch, I've been playing Shadow Invoked. No Dogmatica, just Shadow Invoked. And a card like Predator Inverted Anaconda is an amazing card in that deck. Well, because from 2 effect monsters, you can make this card and you make this card's effect become Super Polymerization and or Shadow Fusion. So obviously with Super Polymerization, it makes the card really broken because you don't got the card for it. And you can just go Anaconda, Super Poly, clean your board out, and then continue on. It's a really good card, and I do feel like a lot of players are going to start considering playing it if they're looking to play any kind of Shadow variant. I think Shadows is the most best well-rounded deck to fight the meta. It doesn't have any amazing matchups, but it doesn't have any really bad matchups. And that's what I like about Shadows right now, especially specifically, once again, Shadow Invoke, which I am playing on my stream later on today if you guys would like to check that out. And as well as a variant which is no Dogmatica. I don't like Dogmatica in that build, and I'll talk about it later on my stream whenever you guys get a chance. Check me out on Twitch, YGOPaisano. Look at the current price point of Predator Inverted Anaconda, though. The price point is kind of low. It's $36, and it's stable at $36, almost at $37 for Inverted Anaconda. You just need one, and hopefully Konami will one day ban Dragoon. Even though I personally don't like Dogmatica Shadow Invoked, I like more of a Shadow Invoked build. Doesn't matter because the price of the Nadir Servant at a Rise of the Duelist with a $95 price point is calming a little bit back down. I mean calming, I meant to say $99. Don't ignore these other price points with 0%. This guy has a Japanese version, but they're about $99 for Predator Inverted Anaconda. I mean, I'm sorry. For Nadir Servant. The thing about Nadir Servants is everyone's starting to rush into these cards, and don't get me wrong, these aren't bad cards. I just feel like they could be used in other builds right now in the game that people are just not caring to play, because why would you care when you can place it in Shadow, Dogmatic, and Invoke? And that's basically what everyone's doing. But I do think this is a great card that can team up with another build. Look at it right now, Nadir Servant's a very relatively expensive card, and hopefully we do see a reprint. If you have your check from the government, do not spend it on this. It will only go down in value. It's not worth it. But V, the card get 105, 110, 115. That doesn't make it any better. You have to buy 3 of this card, and any reprints kill the value. This card came out of Rise of the Duelist. You know how long ago that was? It won't be no surprise to anybody if this card was to get a reprint, and which is going to. It's inevitable. And the price point will obviously tank. Do not get this card. It's not worth it. If you currently have this card, if you're not using it, you might want to consider selling it, because I don't know if it'll get any higher. Gravedigger's Crap Hole at Eternity Code are also starting to rise in value. With a current $20 market price, the value of this card is roughly around $29. The thing about Gravedigger's Crap Hole is, people just really like this card, but it really has seen no competitive play, but has maintained value. Stable value, which is really odd about it. Also, if you want to talk about Sky Striker Ace Rose, if you're not looking to buy the Starlight Ray version, which is already inflated heavily in price, Sky Striker Ace Rose that I've initially sold, the Ultra Rare with a 17, almost their $18 market price, is roughly around $23. $20. Once again, you want to go buy Starlight? Where's the Starlight one? Starlight Run with 343 is roughly around $450. You don't win. you don't win. If you want Strikers, you're going to have to pay that money. Don't get me wrong, I think Strikers are such a great deck, and maybe we can talk about Engage to 1. I'm just joking. That's insane. You're absolutely insane if you think that card should go to 1. It's Book of Moon, but you get to search a card. What? What I'm trying to say, though, is Sky Strikers as a waifu deck, they're a deck that you gotta pay a lot of money for. And maybe Konami, with the next set, can make another waifu deck, because everyone seems to love that, but at a tier 1 level like Strikers used to be. And that would replace Strikers. Now, would it make Yu-Gi-Oh! Players sell their current high rarity Striker cards? You're gonna have to ask an individual player. I'm gonna guess no, though. Every, I think, week or every month, TCG player posts on their Facebook, like, the hot selling cards. And if you don't have a Nightmare Unicorn Collector's Rares, or a Nightmare Phoenix Collector's Rare, well, you might be missing out. Konami Unicorn Collector's Rare at a Genesis Impact with a $59 market price is roughly around $65. Yeah, it went up like $5, but you're going to get a lot of use out of these cards for these max rarity versions of themselves. Once again, Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix, they are always top sellers. I don't know if it's ever going to get bought out. I have zero idea. But what I do know is these are two amazing cards that, well, you kind of need. And if you don't want the high rarity, that's fine. But if you do want the high rarity, why not buy these cards? They're not that expensive. And as time goes on, as it gets harder for you and everybody else to access packs of Genesis Impact, the value is only going to rise. And Konami can't just reprint Collector's Rare. Well, they can, but they're probably not going to. Buster Dragon at a Breakers of Shouts with a $25 market price has already went up to roughly around, well, $36 to $38 a copy. This card desperately needs a reprint, but doesn't currently have one. I guess everyone's really excited to go back in and play in the Buster Dragon deck, and this is definitely one of the cards you're going to need in order to do that. So that's why it's maintaining a relatively high price point. Hopefully we do see a reprint. Then we have Black Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, a card which is getting a Ghost Rare reprint, okay? And the price immediately spiked down. Look at the market price is roughly around $91, a dollar higher than its stable price point of roughly around $90. And then when we look at the card, we're seeing hit around, well, let's be honest, $100 a copy for the secret version coming out of Battle Legends Heroes of Revenge. Now, I still don't recommend you buy this card. In a couple of weeks, you'll have access to the Ghost Rare version, which will, by definition, will be the higher rarity. So even though this card price is inflated heavily, do not buy this card. It's just not worth it. In fact, I'm still saying it, I'll always say it, Fantastical Dragon Phantasm is a phenomenal card out of Savage Strike Original Print Secret Rare. The price point, which is roughly around $18 in the market price, well, if you want a first edition version, that starts you roughly around $30. And if $30 seems a lot for Phantasme, you're going to be disappointed because this card's not done rising. Fantastical Dragon Phantasm is a phenomenal card that I think every Yu-Gi-Oh player should consider playing in their deck. Think about it. You play against any Invoke variants, they go Alistair, go immediately to a Link, Phantasm lets you fetch cards. You play any Dragon Link variant, Phantasm is going to allow you to extend way deeper than you would than any other hedge up in the game, besides, well, back C, I guess. You play Phantasm against any deck, I think mine is Dinos, every deck literally needs to go into a Link. All Phantasm says is, it's just going to replace itself and allow you to, well, cycle cards, which is a big deal in this current meta in which Yu-Gi-Oh players that are looking to play Dinos or especially Dragon Links, or maybe even Shaddolls if you get that Artifact Lancia, because they're going to go into Alistair Link before they activate Invocation. That's a big deal for this card hit the board, because it might help you find other cards that you can use to stunt your opponent's game state. Also has the ability to protect itself or any monster that gets targeted by your opponent's cards. It's a big deal. Now yes, Phantasm has many printings, but the Secret Rare original print at Cyber Strike for currently $30 is not that big of a deal when you imagine at one point this card's price point was roughly around $120. Then we have Prankit's Doodle Doo Doo. This card at Hidden Summons is only rising in value with a current $10, almost near $11 market price. The value is roughly around $14 a copy for this card. Prankits are rising because they're slowly becoming more and more known as one of the best decks, arguably the best deck of the meta. I think we have a huge tie as far as tier 1 slots, but definitely Prankits is a tier 1 deck, no doubt on my mind. Now, some of you might argue, the guys that play it, maybe slow play, and obviously if you go into time, Prankits abuse time. You're right, that's not cool, that's not fair, but I don't even blame the player, I don't blame the deck, I blame the unfortunate time rules we currently have. And don't get me wrong, let me just pause real quickly. If anyone says, oh, I wish you had the old time rulings, you have zero idea what you're talking about. Going to the regionals and leaving roughly around 5 in the morning to a regionals and getting home 2, 3 in the morning the next day due to the fact that people are abusing the previous time rulings, I'd rather have this current new time rulings, which is terrible, but nowhere near as bad as the previous time rulings. Hopefully Konami can readjust time rulings as we move forward. Ultimately, Prank Kids is definitely, at the very least, one of the best decks, if not, once again, like I said, the best deck in the game, and will continue to be. Looking at OCG, they have 3 Max Cs, and Prank Kids have no problem playing through that. Looking over here in TCG, Prank Kids don't have any more Apex Predators. The last Apex Predator, VFD, kind of got taken out the picture, and that allows Prank Kids to do a lot of plays where they normally last format just were not able to do. Prank Kids is a phenomenal deck, and to be honest with you, this is some of the most expensive cards in the deck, being roughly around $14. So if you're looking to play a deck that's not insanely expensive, but can do a lot of cool stuff, you definitely might want to consider Prank Kids. It's a phenomenal deck, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of players don't really know how to play around it, or a lot of players that are playing it, well, They'll do this thing where they draw a card. Think about life. Cards in hand. Oh, I went first. You still have 5? Okay. Stand by. Anything in standby? No. I'm just saying it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but hopefully we can have the judge keep an eye on those kind of players. Unfortunately, if anyone that is playing Prickets correctly, I'm with you. I played that correctly. We just want to show everybody that our deck is good. We don't want to go into time. I'm not sure that's all Prickets players or some Prickets players, but I personally don't want to go into time because I want to earn my win. That's the kind of person I am as far as that kind of deck, but it is what it is, guys. I'm not saying all Prickets players, but, you know, you guys, if you're going to time against prank kids, we already know what's going to happen. Invocation Ultimate Rare at OTS Tournament Pack 6 is relatively inexpensive for its current price point, which really has not changed, despite the fact that Invoked is definitely back in the Tier 1 slot in, well, Shadows, I would say. Look at the current price point of Ultimate Rare Invocation at an OTS Tournament Pack 6 with a $95 price point. The value is roughly around $99. Now, that price point quickly spikes to $120 within about 3 sales. So, I'm not saying this card's cheap, because it's not. But you really can't say it's expensive because it's kind of stabilized. I think the price point was averaging roughly around 90 bucks. The card went up around $8. But if you wait a while, the card's going to be hitting $120, $125, $130 real quickly. So keep an eye on this card if you're looking to get it, because it could be gone by the time you watch this video. Then we have Skullmeister. This is the super rare version at Anaconda the Duelist. The weird thing about this card is this card was, once again, one of those random cards you get in the special edition. The market price being roughly around $7. The card itself is roughly around $7 as well. Is this card still good in the meta? Is it good enough to main? I think the only players that can currently main Skullmeister, if I had to guess, would be Zulich. I think Zulich is probably the best deck to maintain a ton of hand traps, but still have the ability to play, well, the engine in itself. You can run Zoo cards, you can run Lich cards. It doesn't really matter in that combination because you have enough hand traps, so you have enough ways to stop stunting your opponent. The subpar board they made, well, you just break right through it. Or you set up to break right through it as they try again when you have more hand traps. So I don't know about Skullmeister in the overall meta. I don't think it's that needed, but we'll still see some play in Zulich. No doubt on mine. It's still a great card for that deck. I just think the value of Skullmeister will be continuing to drop it down as it kind of slowly falls out of the format. Power and Zektron Legacy to Valiant is out of stock. Just throwing it out there. I don't know why. I'll be honest with you. I have zero idea why this card's going out of stock, but it's going out of stock, and its only printing is in, well, Legacy to Valiant. I didn't know. I always thought that name was different. Anyway, yeah, don't know why this card's bought out. I have zero idea, but okay, moving up. We have Draco stuff. Now listen, I've always been saying for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, well, 2 weeks max, Dracos is a phenomenal deck core. The entire deck core of Dracos was so insanely cheap. Fast forward to, well, today, that's changed. True King's Return at Maximum Price's original print is roughly around $7. If you're looking to get other Draco cards like a True Draco Apocalypse, the super rare at OTS on Pack 5 with a $5 market price, the value is like roughly around $8 and then it quickly goes to $10 a copy. Now, if you're looking to get other cards, once again, like True Draco's Heritage OTS Tournament Pack 11, it is a common, so it's still cheap. And a lot of these cards do have alternative printings, which do make them cheaper still if you are looking to play the deck, which I do like. Once again, True King's Return, we just talked about how it was $7 in Maximum Crisis, but if you want the common, it's roughly around 26 cents. So the cool thing about Dracos is, even though there's an expensive version of the deck, there's still a cheap version of the deck. And I really wish, and I really wish Konami did this moving forward, with like new sets, we could have an expensive version of the deck and a cheap version of the deck, allowing all the players to, well, put money in at certain levels and buy these decks. I personally will still be buying the Max Rarity. Why? Well, and the fact that, besides the fact that it's stupid, I like having Max Rarity things. Not to show off, not to brag, I just like having a shiny toy. But for anybody else that doesn't have the ability to access that shiny toy, I think it's really cool to see stuff like this for like meta decks. How cool would it be if we can see any kind of meta deck right now in the game and have a cheap version, expensive version? We kind of have that in the current meta right now, don't get me wrong, but when you add the fact that you're gonna need, you might want to consider getting cards like Triple Tactics Talents, Forbidden Drop It, Lightning Storm, that's when things get kind of awkward. Speaking of which, looking at some of those cards, Triple Tactics, as you can tell, I have not, it's 8:30 in the morning, I have not slept that well last night, so Triple Tactics Talents, Secret Rare, Rise of the Duelist is already currently roughly around $108. This card's probably not going to be dropping anytime soon. It is one of the best cards in the format because everyone's playing Dragoons. You play the Dragoons, I talent you, I blow your board up, and I kill you with your Dragoons. I'm glad you brought out with Anaconda. Thank you so much. That puts you to 6,000 light points, and you get murdered. Some of you might go, what? Feed him minute. You got to break the Dragoons. Okay, I have 5 cards on my hand to bait Dragoons. That's going to happen. It's going to get baited. Either you let me bait your Dragoons, or I still break your board. You try to stop me from breaking your board, which would be the logical thing a Yu-Gi-Oh player would want to do. I'm going to talent you, take your Dragoons, and I'm going to put that Dragoons to work immediately. Other cards like Forbidden Droplet obviously are hitting some dumb numbers despite the fact that we know there's getting Ultimate Rare printing. Forbidden Droplet at Rise of the Duels $120 is roughly around, well, $121. I said this one, I think it was this one, that it was like 78 and Droplet, talents were like 100, and I go, these card prices are, I'm not sure if they're going to flip, but Droplets is going to flip to where Talents is so insanely expensive, and now we're looking at Droplets do the same exact thing. Hopefully we will see a reprint of these cards. They did come out of Rise of the Duels. I would love to see a reprint of these cards. We know Droplets is getting a reprint in a couple of months if you can somehow wait, but hopefully we see Talents get a reprint because that card is absolutely broken. A card with 3 ban effects currently at 3 in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh that anyone can play as long as you have the budget. Got you there. Is really broken. It's insanely busted. Looking at other cards, we also have a Lightning Storms, which players are debating on playing. If not, you can also play Evenly Match. But Evenly Match is for the poor. Okay? I got Lightning Storm because I'm one of the elite, the 1%. I got $14 in my account. Look at that Lightning Storm Secret Rare at Ignition Store with an $85 market price. The value of the cards currently, well, roughly around... Well, okay, so you got these 2 guys over here, which is the same guy with 25 sales, 0%. I don't trust these guys. The price was actually roughly around $114. Now, if you're like, V, I want to be a smart saver. I want to not spend a lot of money, but I still want to smash. How can Hulk smash in Yu-Gi-Oh? Cool, no big deal. You can play Evenly Match. Listen, Lightning Storm and Evenly Match are phenomenal cards that almost do the same exact thing, ultimately. Because they want to clear your field. They want to look at your opponent and go, I got to clear your field. With Evenly Match, you got to give your battle phase away, and it got to be the only card in your hand that you can activate. With Lightning Storm, you can't have face-up cards. The thing that Evenly Match is, and the reason why I love this card so much more than Lightning Storm, even though I love Lightning Storm, Evenly Match is really good at messing up Elec players, or any kind of player that sets a lot of back row. You play Dark Row No More, a little Evenly Match, ooh, spicy. Or you just see a Elec player, they set a bunch of stuff down because they're trying to get, like, you know, Torrential off on you, Ice Dragon's Prison off on you, any of their Elec traps, and then you just say Battle Phase. It's such a fun thing to say. And they have to bench everything in order to keep the Golden Lord if they preemptively put the Golden Lord on board, which at times I do, at times I don't. That is a big deal. You basically use one card to clean all your opponent's resources, in which resources that are recurable, it's pretty insane. And don't get me wrong, Lightning Storm's a great card as well, but I feel like if you Lightning Storm your opponent, you need to take them out that turn. Not every deck can do that, besides Dinosaurs and Dragons. Ideally, majority of the time, these are the only 2 decks I think can easily play Lightning Storm or Evenly Match. I still say Evenly Match, but once again, if you can take them out on that turn, and if you can consistently do it, you play Lightning Storm. But Evenly Match, I think, is good for everybody else, and it's not that expensive. The 2018 Mega Pack version of the card is roughly around $28. If you're looking to find any other versions of Evenly Match, and you want the highest rarity version, the original print out of Circuit Break, with the $28 market price, is roughly around $35. Seems expensive? It's not really if you think about it, but hey, you want to go cheaper? No big deal. We have the Ultra Rare at a Dual Power with a $23 market price. It's kind of spiked up a little bit. That's also roughly around $28 for that. And if you don't want to play Forbidden Droplet, you can always play Dark Roll No More. This card is roughly around $5 currently in the market with shipping included for the lowest variation. But if you want a little bit higher rarity, somehow you found a couple extra bucks in your bank account, you can always get the Prismatic Secret Rare at a 2019 Gold Star Megaton. A phenomenal card, and the price point is slowly rising, obviously, to roughly around $9. This is still a great card. I think a lot of players, if they don't want to play Droplet, can also use Dark Ruler. Little fun fact, I play Dark Ruler even though I have access to Droplets in like my deck boxes. Why? Because I'm managing a resource game when I'm playing Shadow's Invoked. If you want to check that out on stream, please make sure to go ahead and do that. My Twitch channel is down below. YGOPaisano. I'm going to stream remote dual locals. I'm going to be testing my deck out. We're going to be tweaking my deck, and I'll have a deck profile of my current, once again, Shadow not Dogmatica, Shadow Invoke deck that does not run Dogmatica. I make a great reason why I don't like to run Dogmatica, and if you want to know the answer to that reason, please, like I said, make sure to check out me on Twitch. And yeah, I really do enjoy the deck a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. One last thing I just want to say is I started being streaming on Twitch a lot more often. I really do enjoy doing that. I think having the ability to practice Yu-Gi-Oh from the comfort of your own home is a big deal. And if you have never, ever, 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 ever tried remote duels, all I say is do it one time. I have a bunch of locals I play at. I play at a lot of locals. I really do like Grandmaster Games. It's you know, they run Yu-Gi-Oh 7 days a week. They're excellent locals. If you want to check them out on the Discord, or if you want to hop on Twitch and ask for that Discord, I'll give you that Discord link for that. But there's a lot of great other locals like Rising Star, Fargo. I mean, I can name a ton, and they're all really good. I really don't think I've ever had experience that, you know, with the locals itself that was really bad. You know, every store owner, the judges, they're excellent. And I just want to say one thing real quick, because yesterday I was really upset about it was a ruling, but realistically it was a policy that Konami currently has. Konami currently has in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh as far as remote duels. I'm not gonna break the whole thing down to get into the whole thing, but I really want to say to everybody watching real quickly. Listen, first of all, I definitely want to make sure everyone knows that I was wrong as far as any aggression I had towards the judge, and I apologize, and I still apologize to that judge and the locals. I don't want to embarrass anybody or yell at anybody, and I definitely did. It got heated, and I was angry about a policy so much I exploded, and that's something I don't like to do anywhere, period, anything. It's not about, you know, anyone personally or the locals themselves that's literally running Yu-Gi-Oh 7 days a week. It's about the terrible policy that Konami has that hopefully will be fixed. And I might make a video about that policy one day. I'm waiting for a response back from Konami about the situation, about, well, the policy itself. But I definitely overreacted, and I definitely flipped out, and like I said, that's something I don't normally do, and I feel terrible about it. And I just want to once again apologize to that judge and apologize to Grandmaster Games, because they've been nothing but kind to me and to every other player that has played in the remote duel locals. As well as, once again, other remote duel locals out there as well. They've been excellent and insanely accommodating. They're really cool working with you to how to figure out how to send OTS packs and talk with you and all that stuff. So, like I said, guys, if you have not tried remote duel locals, I'll tell you right now, little side note, I hated the idea of remote duel locals. If you go back to my videos back when remote duel locals coming out, I was making fun of it. Played one remote duel locals, instantly hooked. I really do enjoy them a lot, and I think a lot of players, you watching right now, might enjoy it as well. I might be doing another updated video about how to get involved in remote duel locals as well. I know a lot of people have a lot of small questions they want to ask, or they have, and if you ever have those questions, hit me up on Instagram. I'll try to get back to you if I can, and answer any questions about remote duel locals, local setup, or Discord links, and all that jazz. There's a phenomenal amount of remote duel locals out right now. You go on my Discord, I think we have them saved as well, and their times, and they were phenomenal, and it's really great to sit there and play Yu-Gi-Oh from the comfort of your own home. And I really do think a lot of players, given the opportunity, would definitely find themselves enjoying it if they just gave it one chance. Just give it one chance. I know people are very hesitant, and rightfully so, but if you give something one chance, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna lose time? What's the best that can happen? You're gonna find you love it. And I'm telling you right now, for somebody that thought remote duels was a joke, I love it, and I definitely find it as a very important resource to myself becoming a better Yu-Gi-Oh player. But just not only just that, but just understanding the meta as a whole and meeting new people. It's an excellent way to do it, and I really think you guys will greatly appreciate that as well. Anyway, Paisanos, it's your boy Veen. You Paisanos, don't spend your code check on one shot. Give me like a week and don't spend your code check on all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But if you gotta buy a Starlight Rare, do it correctly. Anyway, Paisanos, it's your boy Veen. You Paisanos have a great day.